Greetings from the NorthOps mobile studios in beautiful Folsom, California, and welcome to Sunday's edition of your Fire Weather Webcast. I'm your host, Jeff Tonkin. Let's get started. It was a very active weather day across Northern California yesterday as an unseasonably strong upper level low inspired numerous wet and dry thunderstorms across much of the northwest third of the state. Some of the more intense cells showed severe weather characteristics of large hail and very strong winds. Other portions of NorthOps saw strong south to southwest winds accompanied by very dry RH values. There were around 1,300 cloud to ground strikes across NorthOps boundary, but it should be noted that abundant lightning also occurred over Oregon and portions of Washington as well. As far as precipitation, some of the heavier showers and thunderstorms produced bands of a half an inch to about an inch of rain, but in most areas it was generally about a tenth to a quarter of an inch, with much lighter amounts along the periphery of the activity. Reviewing this morning's water vapor imagery shows a general trough of low pressure over the northeast Pacific and extending eastward across northern California. Yesterday's low has already weakened and is moving up the Oregon coast. Some residual moist air is riding over the northern half of the state, while Southern California sees much drier air. And looking at visible imagery this morning shows a mix of low and mid-level clouds across the North State associated with yesterday's activity, with a fair amount of stratus along portions of the entire coast and coastal interior areas. Southern California is really only seeing some coastal low clouds. Examining the major weather features via the 500 millibar forcing pattern and starting with this morning shows the large baggy trough off the west coast and extending into the western states, with yesterday's low already located off the Washington coast. Looping this model over the next few days shows the trough off the coast persisting and weakening slightly, while a ridge of high pressure builds over the intercontinental west. The main result for Northern California will be continued below normal temperatures, onshore flow, and breezy westerlies across the northeast third of the state. Taking a look at the extended outlook period shows another strong low pressure system moving southward over Northern California and Southern Oregon by Friday of this upcoming week. This feature will likely bring more showers and possible thunderstorms to the region, as well as maintaining well below normal temperatures. Very little rain is expected over the next 3 to 5 days across the state. However, looking at the River Forecast Center's 6-day precipitation forecast does show upwards of a third to a half an inch of rain over the northwest third of the state, with much lighter amounts to the south and the east. The bulk of this rain would likely come with the previously mentioned arrival of the next low pressure system toward the end of next week. With the persistent and ongoing trough pattern, thunderstorm potential is heightened, and the next best chance may occur late Tuesday into Wednesday as an upper wave of energy rides through the trough. Shown here are 5% probabilities of isolated thunderstorms across the northwest and northern mountains late Tuesday. As mentioned earlier, with the approach of a stronger low toward the end of the upcoming work week, thunderstorm potential increases. Shown here for Friday are 5 to 10% chances of thunderstorms over Northern California, with a higher bullseye of 40 to 50% chances over Central Oregon. Main fire weather issues looming are rapid drying across the region in terms of lower RH, along with breezy to periods of windy west to southwest winds. Looking at GACC surface wind fields for this afternoon show some breeziness of 15 to 25 miles per hour across the northeast and the Sierra Crest, as well as gusty westerlies along the coastal gaps and the Delta region. Very similar wind patterns are expected on Monday, and on Tuesday some enhanced gustiness is shown on the lee side of the crest, where zephyr winds may reach gusts of 30 to 35 miles per hour, along with similar gust speeds across the Delta and the Pacheco Pass area shown here. Despite the cooler than normal temperatures, RH values will begin to fall as much drier air mass begins to filter in across the North State later today. Shown here are min RH values of 15 to 25% across most of the Sac Valley and the Northeast, while only the near coastal areas remain moist. The drying trend continues over the next few days, and by Tuesday, shown here, marine layer influences have shrunk, with only the immediate coastline showing moderate to high values of RH. East of the Coast Range, interior areas will see min RH values of 10 to 20%, with pockets of single digits. Reviewing today's NorthOps 7-day significant fire potential table shows little to no risk of significant fire for the coastal areas as marine influences continue. Moderate risk in brown boxes continues across most of the interior areas, while a high-risk orange box is in effect for the Far East on Thursday due to very low RH and gusty west-southwest winds. And summarizing today's fire weather webcast highlights, trough influences continue across the North State with below normal temperatures, periods of gusty westerlies. However, marine influences diminish and a drier air mass gradually encompasses the North State over the next few days. Breezy to gusty west to southwest winds will be observed across the coastal gaps, Cascade, Sierra Crest, and eastward, ranging from 15 to 25 miles per hour over the next 3 to 5 days, with locally stronger gusts of 30 to 35 miles per hour. By early next week, min RH trends will fall to near 10 to 20% across interior areas, with pockets of single digits possible. Light isolated showers and thunderstorms are possible Tuesday into Wednesday across the northwest and northern mountains, with better chances shaping up on Friday. Precipitation chances also increase Friday as another strong low pressure system moves into northwest California. This concludes today's fire weather webcast.